Divergent Supreme Radio. Divergent Supreme Radio.
Music.
Divergent Supreme Radio.
Entertainment.
Divergent Supreme Radio.
Reviews. Divergent Supreme Radio.
Welcome to Divergent Supreme Radio with your host KY on Real 1100 AM Atlanta. I'll be bringing you the latest entertainment and sports news every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you've downloaded iHeartRadio or the Real 1100 app from the App Store or Google Play so you don't miss an episode. Today, we have a very special guest that'll be calling in, TJ Reddick, the winner of Cooks vs. Cons on the Food Network. How are you doing today, TJ?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
It's truly a pleasure to have you with us. Can you please introduce yourself and your business to our listeners, please?
Yes, so I am Anthony Reddick, also known as ChefTj or TJ the Chef by Instagram and Facebook. I run JDR Catering Co. It's a legacy catering company where we specialize in small, intimate dinners, generally between 75 and 100 people and lower. I also have ChefTj's Private Kitchen, which is a private chef company that specializes in food allergy and restrictive diets, meal plan, and meal prep. Nice. So there's those two things.
Awesome. Now, you're actually the winner of Cooks vs. Cons on the Food Network. How was that whole experience for you?
Yes. So the Food Network is one of the, I guess, the judges of being a chef or being a culinarian. It's just kind of one of those, prestigious moments to really get out and kind of soar above a lot of other individuals or the rest, quote unquote, just to kind of give you a good moral grounding or a good basis. And so for me, the experience was just electrifying. Like it really spurred off a lot of things. For me, it was the last push I needed to tell myself to go into business for myself and do what it is I love to do on a more unrestricted and grand scale setting.
Oh, definitely. I bet that surely boosted your confidence. How did you separate yourself from other contestants?
Well, one of the biggest things was I was like, I want to say I grasped the concept of the show, but maybe I didn't. But one of my biggest focuses was I didn't necessarily want to look like a chef because I wanted to make the show the show. But I definitely wanted to use my fundamentals and at the same time do what it is that I do, which is sort of a very intellectually based, like on-the-spot modifying as far as, stuff that happens last minute or stuff that goes awry, being able to adapt and overcome. So I think I completely exemplified those two things. Great moral or great, culinary foundation, and at the same time, the ability to adapt and overcome.
Great game plan, sir. Now, what dish did you cook or what dishes did you rely on to help you win the competition?
So the first dish that I cooked, we had sort of a mystery item, and we had to make something out of a mystery item. And for us, the challenge was to make nachos out of canned soup. Now, canned soup is one of the worst things to possibly work with to do other things because it's full of sodium. And not that I'm a huge health nut, but sodium is just kind of bad. Everybody tries to avoid it. So that was that. And I did a 3-bean vegetarian nacho with a charred white corn queso, and a roasted poblano guacamole. Judges went amazing over that, primarily because it was very heavily vegetarian, which is kind of a good rise for now, and the eating platform of a lot of people that are health conscientious, as well as individuals that are looking for weight controlling modifiers to their diet.
Indeed. Now, what's your favorite dish to make without anything holding you back? You mentioned you had to use canned soup the first time around. If there were any barriers, what's your favorite dish?
I can't hear you guys really good.
I'm sorry, what's your favorite dish to make if there aren't any barriers holding you back, like during a competition?
I kind of have more of an eclectic style of cooking, so I don't really have a favorite dish to cook, but I do love a lot of ethnic cuisines, and by that I mean, Italian to Ethiopian. The stranger the better, but I like it to be, and by strange I don't mean, strange, but just non-traditional American cuisine. Stuff that's flavorful and robust, and definitely I'm a huge believer in moderation more than anything. You don't need to go completely gluten-free or completely nightshade-free or completely vegetarian or vegan, but moderation. You need everything all the time, and just take it a little by little. Take care of yourself by restricting things, but not necessarily completely cutting them out.
Definitely. Now, are you a fan of reality television at all?
For what reality TV is, I guess I'm a fan of it.
Nice.
And I can leave it kind of at that. For the educational bits and stuff, yeah, I'm a huge fan of spreading education, but there's a lot of reality TV I don't necessarily agree with, and I just try to avoid that. So I can say that with keeping things neutral.
Now, what did you learn from being on television, and how does it help you today?
Well, one of the things that I think I learned as far as being a kid, basically, is that you only get one life. You only get to do everything kind of one time, and even though you have take after take after take, it's still going to be you. So put your best foot forward and just go with it. I don't necessarily have the most correct or PC of language. I don't necessarily have the most sanitary or clean habits, but being able to be on TV and just kind of explore my skills and really put forth my good foot really just kind of gave me basically the extra push and taught me that, you can still be human on TV in the eyes of millions.
Yes, sir. Now, do you ever feel tempted to Google yourself after winning the competition?
So I have actually Googled myself just to do it. I hope that doesn't sound too vain, but I did Google myself, and it's a really nice picture up there. And so, yes, I am actually a Googleable entity.
Nice.
So,
how did being on television affect your relationship with, say, friends or family?
not really much. A lot of people kind of, my persona that I basically showed on TV is who I am. It's not like I, dressed up as anything different or acted any kind of weird way. I basically was who I am. And with that, not a lot of people saw anything different or were affected any differently than normal. So it really didn't.
And it definitely contributed to you winning the competition.
Oh, yeah. Like I said earlier, you can only be one person. You can only be that who you are, and you just kind of got to go with that and be comfortable with that. And if you're good with that, if you're comfortable with that, if you can do that, then you're only going to be successful. I think when people, get outside of themselves or try to change or become something a little bit different than they're used to, that we then start to falter because we believe we have to keep up this certain persona. We believe that we have to keep up this certain type of visual appearance or whatever, and you kind of get lost in the whole reality of who you really are.
I totally agree, Chef TJ. We're going to take a short music break, and we'll be back with you shortly.
off the light. Baby, back it up, don't turn up the fight. Turn off the light. I girl say you're fine. I need that energy tonight. Girl, keep it cold and burn up the vibe. Say me not gonna live tonight, girl, turn up the vibe. Say me not want fight every day. Love it when we play, love it when we yeah. Say me one vibe and replay. Leave it up crazy, love it baby, yeah. Melatonin, baby, take it this time. We don't wanna end up hurting tomorrow. Long term or temporary, I can't decide. How much of my love can you borrow? Tighten up, baby, yes, I fell for you almost. Try my best to build you up from the bottom. I'm calling it quits. Leave that for my ex. We flipped the whole script. I couldn't even risk it. I don't give hints. Goodbye, she was gone by 6. I couldn't read lips. It's hard when I'm twisted.
Awesome. Now, thanks once again for joining us, Chef TJ. Are you still here with us?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. When did you first begin cooking?
I first began cooking actually working in a restaurant called Monte Trattoria when I was about 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
I actually lied to get a job in that place. I told them I was turning 15 when I was turning 14. And I worked there for a year as a dishwasher and then got moved up after about 6 months to being the garde manger chef where I did salads and desserts. And then about 6 months after that, they moved me to the hot bar. In between that, I also worked as the busboy and a food runner. So,
so you
definitely early.
Yes, you did indeed start really early. Did you always want to be a chef?
I think, honestly, I had a talent and skill for food services, but being a chef wasn't really like the answer or a thought process to me until about the Y2K time period. I thought to myself, if this really did happen, if this really does happen, what's something that I can actually do where I'm going to be like a viable person in society? I don't really like science, which is why I also don't do baking, so being a doctor was out. So I was like, you know what? Food kind of comes to me natural and easy. I'm just going to do that. So that was my thing.
Okay, would you say it was your dream career, or did you have anything else in mind as a child?
Oh, God. Yeah, no. I think early off I had like the notion that I would do something with computers or something, but after the whole Y2K scare, I was like, no, I think, cooking's where it's at. It's easy, and, one of my biggest quotes is something my mom said to me as a kid. She said, people work all day long or all the time trying to find out who they are and be that person. Just find something you love to do that, and people will pay you for it because you'll be happy doing it, so you'll do a good job. So that's honestly what I took on and did. So
I love that quote. Now, how has life been after winning Cooks vs. Cons?
What's that? Oh, how's life been after Cooks vs. Cons?
Yes,
it's honestly, again, it hasn't really changed much for me. I kind of got the validation that I needed as a chef. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I kind of got what I needed for that time period. And so it's caused me to kind of thrust myself into working for myself and knowing my true potential and true value. But outside of that, it really hasn't changed much for me. It's not like I go places and, people necessarily recognize me. A lot of people say that they watch those shows, but, every now and again I'll get somebody that kind of recognizes me, but I think it's because of my hair and my facial hair. People think that I'm Jim Jones, one of the Ultimate Fighters.
You do indeed look a bit like him. He's actually from my hometown. Are you talking about the UFC fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now, did you have any stressful moments while filming or after the competition?
Well, there was definitely a stressful moment during filming. There was a moment where right before filming, they told me that they didn't have buttermilk on the set. And there was also a moment where I and I know everybody's going to have an issue, but I burned my chicken because I took a little bit longer than I should have in preparation, and I needed to actually cook really high and really fast. And so the novice thing or non-chef thing to do is to turn the heat up really high because then it would actually cook faster. But you can't really cook chicken faster. You just gonna burn stuff. So that was like the most stressful time period. Is I literally burned my chicken, and on the spot I needed to adapt and overcome because I couldn't put out something that was just against the basics. You know, you don't serve burnt food, you don't serve undercooked food, and you definitely don't serve unseasoned food. You know, if you want to be successful on a TV show. So.
Yes, sir. Now, you're currently running a successful catering service. What are some notable events you've catered for?
Well, I've actually done quite a few events from New York Fashion Week this year. I worked with Above Time Marketing and PR company out of San Diego, California, where they did a fashion show for emerging designers and emerging artists, as well as emerging models. So it was a really great experience for me to take on and kind of experience as far as seeing the fashion industry from the background. I also did Couture for Kids with Cancer recently, which is another fashion show really put on for the charity of kids with cancer. I have the Atlanta Women of Visions banquet Sip and Mingle coming up this weekend, and I just did a masquerade ball for Rashida here in Atlanta. That is Love and Hip Hop's very own Rashida, live TV. So I've done quite a few, and I've had quite the ability to work with several great people in the Atlanta area on other little small projects. Like there's a group called the Atlanta Guys Dinner Group, where it's just a great group of guys that just really want to like get out, help the community and surrounding businesses that are really kind of volunteering their time, money, effort, things of that sort to perfect this little land that we live in. So I've worked with them on some things and definitely worked with a good friend of mine, Sean Polanyi. He's been fantastic in, just getting me catering gigs to helping basically implement my food and service and quality thereof just into the industry as a whole. So, yeah.
Awesome. Now, if any of our listeners wanted to book you for an event, how can they get in contact with you?
Oh, how could you not get in contact with me? So you can reach me at 770-569-3814. I don't know if that's necessarily safe, but that's my business line. I also have Facebook, Instagram, Carrier Pigeon, Twitter, everything that basically you could possibly think of as far as social media goes for JDR, that's Junior Delta Romeo Catering Co. And I also have jdrcateringco.com as well as jdrcateringco@gmail.com. So that's pretty much it, JDR Catering Co.
Awesome. Thank you for that information. Now, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur trying to start a catering business?
I got to be honest with you, and I hate to steal Nike and every other cliche, but pretty much if you can think of a cliche saying or statement regarding getting out there and doing it. I went to a food show not too long ago, and at the time period, I think I was an executive chef for the corporate dining service facility that I had worked for. And I asked Alex Gorshinelli, who happens to be one of my favorite chefs, basically the same question, what is it that's holding me back? Like, what advice would you give me, to go forward or whatever? And she was just like, why not? Gary Vaynerchuk has a very similar sort of thought process in that, you're going to die. Like, at the very end of the day, give it 110%, just at least so you could say that you tried it that way. And if you fail, don't look at it as the end. Look at it as that's the beginning, or that's a stepping stone. That's the point at which you don't want to be again. So strive to, rise above that or push yourself further than that or faster than that. Just get out there and just do it. There's a need for you. There's a want for you. And like my mom said, if you love to do it, it's not about the money. It's really about you. And for me, my food service has kind of migrated to just that. It's not about the money. The money is going to come, but it's about really getting my skill set, my crafts, my sort of like mellow mentality and the love that I put into my food into people, and it's really about just kind of infecting their day or infecting their life with just some great food, no matter what the party is, no matter what the event is, no matter what the budget is, but really just kind of infecting my passion, my love, and my skill set into people's environments, events, and atmospheres.
Definitely, and if you love what you're doing, it's not really work. You agree?
It's not at all, and I can tell people I haven't worked a day in my life for 34 years now.
Ah, that is awesome. Now, we're going to take another short music break, and we'll be back to close out the show with you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm having such a great time.
Just in case you thought that I wouldn't get down, I got so many of them on the rebound. You thought that I wouldn't get down, I got too many. Just in case you thought that I wouldn't get down, gotta keep it real with you, I thought you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, super down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down. 2K on my Saint Laurent, spent a few K on my latest charm. Did you see what I put in my baby? Big rock so big it look like it's from Flintstones. In my bag, gave you all my love, and you sent it back. Now I got a new thing. Who don't be on mood swings? Who be on that new thing? Got at least 2 days on them. Just in case you thought that I wouldn't get down, I got so many of them on the rebound. You thought that I wouldn't get down, gotta keep it real with you, I thought you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, super down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down. Falling where I think I need some medicine. Baby girl, you know my energy. Get a little toco, you gon' remember me. No, I put that screw all on the top. I get the lead, baby. Having that beat, baby, yeah. I'm in between, baby. Let me intervene, baby, yeah. Jimmy Iovine, baby, cause you know that I got you in the scope. And I'm popping when I got it in the dope. Smoking presidential, got it in the smoke, oh yeah. Baby, we got big shit to do. I'm a rich nigga. You can join the rich crew if you wish. Count money to your wrist, switch to blue. It's a cash money game, baby, fast money game. And I still got my ex-girl calling. I'm just out here balling. To my brand new thing out to Miami just to spoil her. Switch it up, flip it up, rip it up, taking my bitch out to the garden. So when you see me balling with a shorty, know it's just in case you thought that I wouldn't get down. I got so many of them on the rebound. You thought that I wouldn't get down, gotta keep it real with you, I thought you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, super down. You thought that I wouldn't get down, you were down. You thought that I wouldn't get down. That's a fact. It's all good though, cause you know what I'ma do. That rich, you know what I'ma do.
Awesome. Now, Chef TJ, next week, Tuesday, is actually Election Day. How important do you think it is that our listeners get out to vote on a scale from 1 to 10?
I think that it's most exquisitely important. I think that, honestly, hands down, it's a number 10 to get out and vote. You know, it's easy to sit around and complain, but, you know, the biggest thing, and like I tell a lot of people I come in contact with, employees, friends, family members, one of the easiest things for us to do is sit around and complain. One of the best things for everybody is, you know, not necessarily not to complain, but at the same time when you're complaining, you know, maybe have a backup plan, maybe have a solution, maybe, you know, put a little bit more thought into that complaint rather than just venting and actually do something about it. One of the biggest killers in life is stress, and you know, the easiest way to not stress is to be able to rest. Be mindful of the fact that you have the ability to rest. You have the availability to have a voice, to, you know, want and demand certain things. And if we don't get out and vote, if you don't put the people who speak for you in office, I got to be honest with you, be quiet. You know, it's so easy for us to sit around and chit chat and complain. Use your voice. Be heard. Get out and vote.
Definitely. We have the opportunity to make history here in Georgia. Now, do you have any words of motivation you'd like to leave our listeners with today?
You know, honestly, just like I said, I think the entire show, you know, one of the biggest things that gets me going every day is the fact that we're human. You know, moderation is key. And just get out there and do it. You have one chance to live this life, and it's all yours. There's never going to be another you ever in the history of mankind. No matter if you have a child, if you clone yourself, there's never going to be the genuine you. Get out and enjoy it. You're not going to get out of this thing living, so you might as well live it up.
I agree 100%. Now, you dropped a lot of gems for our listeners today, TJ. I truly appreciate it. Yes, sir. I truly appreciate you joining us, and I hope we can have you back here sometime whenever you're
I look
ready.
forward to it. I'd love to come in and do a little cooking demo and stuff for you guys. It'd be great.
Sir. That'll be awesome. Now, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope you all come back to join us next week here on Divergent Supreme Radio every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Real 1100 Atlanta. I'm out like a light.
Ice water turn Atlantic. Night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic. Took an island, fled the mansion. Drop the roof, more expansion. Drive a coupe, you can stand it. He's undercover. I'm an ass and titty lover. Guess we all meant for each other. Now that all the dogs free, and we out in these streets. Can you do it? Can you pop it for me?
Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z. It's that Z. Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z. It's that Z.
Blow the brains out the coop. Polly one on top, but I'm on mute. I'ma bust her wrist down cause she cute. Car on the yacht, I've been a pool. She an addict for the lifestyle and the paddock. Daddy, have you ever felt Chanel fabric? I be dripping to death, I need a casket. And we got more strikes in the rough, we foul tech em. In the middle of the field like David Beckham. I'm locked up for real, I'm trying to help him. When I got a meal, got me the chills, don't know what happened. Pop, do what you feel, I'm on that zombie. I'm more like Gaddafi, I'm not no Gandhi. I'm more like I'm David Goliath running. Be cloning, I find it funny. Clone. We from the north, straight out the dungeon. From the north, I go in the mouth, it costing me nothing. 300 the watch is out of your budget. Mean muggin' got me clutching. Yeah, and this stick right out of Russia.
Ice water turn Atlantic. Night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic. Took an island, fled the mansion. Drop the roof, more expansion. Drive a coupe, you can stand it. He's undercover. I'm an ass and titty lover. Guess we all meant for each other. Now that all the dogs free, and we out in these streets. Can you do it? Can you pop it for me?
Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z. It's that Z. Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z. It's that Z. In a Hellcat, cause I'm a hellraiser. Self-made, I don't owe a damn favor. When you get that money, keep your heart. I'm sliding in a coupe, ain't got no key to start. I got to follow me in BET Awards. When your well run dry, you know you need me for it. When I pull up in a Buick, you know what I'm doing. If the police get behind me, fleeing any lure. Sleeping on the pallet, turn me to a savage. I'm a project baby, now I stay in Calabasas. Like I'm still surfing, like I'm still jacking. I be sipping on, trying to keep balance. Hit that Z-Walk, dicky with my Reebok. I don't say much, I just let the heat talk. Your jewelry water whoop, diamonds like re-rock. My little baby rock that like C-Block. When I stepped up on the scene, I was on a beam. When I jumped up out the beam, I was in saline. Baby girl, you just a fleen, that ain't what I mean. Money busting out my jeans like I do scheme. Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z. It's that Z. Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z. It's that Z.